And there are new developments in the racist shooting rampage at a store in Florida. A security guard from a nearby college campus is being hailed as a hero tonight for potentially preventing even more deaths. He spoke with our Gabe Gutierrez.
Before the gunman, seen here on surveillance video, walked into a Dollar General store in Jacksonville Saturday and killed 3 people. Tonight, police releasing new images of the moment he stopped in the parking lot of nearby Edward Waters University. And that's when a group of students flagged down a campus security officer.
I don't consider myself a hero.
Lieutenant Antonio Bailey quickly confronted the gunman, later identified as 21-year-old Ryan Christopher Palmeter.
He had on what appeared to be a tactical vest up under a shirt and mask.
Did you ever, in your mind, ever consider not confronting the suspect?
No, I did not. This is what we signed up for.
The gunman sped away and later opened fire at the Dollar General nearby before taking his own life. While the local sheriff says it's not clear that the gunman planned to target the university, the school's president has no doubt why he went there first.
Do you believe that if he had not confronted the suspect, do you believe that this attack would have been unfolded here on this campus?
I absolutely do.
Tonight, the FBI is investigating the shooting as a hate crime. The sheriff here says the gunman had written down racist rants. The victims identified as Gerald Deshaun Gallion, A.J. Laguerre Jr., and Angela Carr.
This is so unreal. Oh, God.
Carr's daughter, Ashley, says her mom was an Uber driver who leaves behind 3 kids and 16 grandchildren.
She's touched the lives of hundreds, if not thousands.
Today, President Biden meeting with civil rights leaders commemorating the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington.
White supremacy is a poison.
Police say the gunman legally purchased the AR-15 style rifle and handgun he used and that he had no criminal record. Though as a teenager, he was held for an involuntary mental health evaluation.
What he did is totally unacceptable in the state of Florida.
At a prayer vigil, Governor Ron DeSantis faced boos from the crowd after previously drawing backlash over efforts to change Black history teaching standards in Florida's public schools.
Today, the governor announced the state would set aside $1 million to beef up security at Edward Waters University.
Okay, now welcome back to my channel. As today, I'm going to talk about the Ryan Palmeter, racial killing massacre that happened in Jacksonville, Florida. My hometown, which is Jacksonville. Yeah, I'm from Jacksonville, and I'm going to talk about this racial shooting that happened. And like everybody is telling you, yes, Ron DeSantis is responsible for these mass killings as well, because all the rhetoric, anti-Black rhetoric and nonsense he keeps saying is causing it, and also causing them not punishing these white supremacists when they get caught, is letting them kill themselves and getting away with murder and not apprehending them and, punish them for killing Black people. The article I'm reading, is coming from the Independent. And it's titled, "Who is Ryan Palmeter?" Or Palmeter, how do you pronounce his last name? What we know about the racial 21-year-old Dollar General shooter. The article states, the gunman who shot dead 3 people at a dollar store in Jacksonville, Florida on Saturday afternoon in a racial motivated attack has been named as 21-year-old Ryan Christopher Palmeter, armed with an AR-15 style rifle and a Glock handgun, and sporting a tactical vest and face mask. The shooter fired 11 rounds into a car in the store parking lot, killing his first victim shortly after 1 p.m. on Saturday before entering the dollar store in the city's Newtown neighborhood, allowing some shoppers to leave before opening fire on those who remained, finally turning his gun on himself. The 3 killed in the episode, 2 men and a woman, were all Black. They were later identified as Angela Michelle Carr, 52, Alt Joseph A.J. Langer Jr., 19, and Gerald D. Sean Gallion, 29. My bad for busting the victim names. I couldn't really pronounce them, but as you can see, he targeted only the Black ones, and he killed every last one of them. My condolences to the family, and really wish that didn't happen. Speaking at a press conference on Saturday, Sheriff T.K. Waters said that the suspect was a white male who hated black people and commented, "This is a dark day in Jacksonville's history. There is no place for hate in this community. I'm sickened by this cowardly shooter's personal ideology." Here's any more we know about Ryan Palmeter. I'm going to tell you like this. In Jacksonville, there's a lot of racism going on. Even in schools, there's racism. Palmeter is believed to have left the home he shared with his parents in the suburb Clay County around 11:40 a.m. on Saturday, arriving in his gray Honda Element first at the campus of Edwards University, a historical black college, about an hour later only to be turned around by security guards when he refused to identify himself. The individual returned to his car and left the campus without incident. The encounter was reported to the Jacksonville Sheriff Officer by EDW Security. The school said in a secret press release that before the massacre was carried out at the nearby Dollar General branch, Palmeter texted his father advising him to look at his personal computer on which the suspect parents dual find several manifestos inundated intended to explain his action, which the Sheriff Waters criticized as the diary of a madman during Saturday press conference. Palmeter's father had called the Clay County Sheriff's Office at around 2 p.m. to report the manifesto, but by then it was too late. So you wait an hour to report this. Meanwhile, your lunatic son is killing black people. See, I mean, that could have been, that's a whole hour. I mean, you waited. You could easily, when your son called you, you first saw the manifesto, what you do? Did you read the whole manifesto? Then it would take you an hour to read, then report. I'm sorry, man. In 2 minutes reading that, you should have went ahead and called the sheriff instead of waiting an hour. I would just bring the father in for also being charged with the murder. But that's just me. In the aftermath of the attack, the sheriff also posted images on Facebook of the firearms used, one of which was swastika emblem on it. Though it was not the parents' guns, Sheriff Waters explained, "I cannot say that he owned them, but I know his parents did not. His parents did not want them in their house." Palmeter's writing, which included a will and a suicide note declaring his intention to end his life, are now being examined by investigators. Participants of these manifesto details the shooter's disdain, ideology, or hate, Sheriff Waters said. Plainly put, the shooter was racially motivated and he hated black people. He wanted to kill ends. That's the one and only time I use that word. I want to be very clear that there is absolutely no evidence that the shooter is part of a large group. We know that he is completely alone. Palmeter was previously involved in a 2016 domestic incident involving his brother James, who was reportedly serving a jail sentence for armed robbery, but was not arrested, the sheriff added. I mean, hey, can we check the parents' background too? So it might be a whole family tree of criminals in there. There was no criminal record, nothing, he said. There was no red flags. I bet there was no red flags. However, in 2016, Palmeter was held in state custody under Florida's Baker Act, a statute that allows for people to be taken to a receiving facility for involuntary examination for up to 72 hours if they are considered a harm to themselves or others during a mental health crisis. Oh yeah, his mental health crisis is that he hates Negroes. So his health crisis is that he has Negrophobia. The dude was Baker at. I'm sorry, but whoever this Baker at should not be having firearms at all. According to the Daily Beast, citing public voting records, Palmeter was a registered Republican, unlike his parents who were registered Democrats, and maintained only a very basic account on X, that's Twitter, formerly Twitter, who stole posts considering his being accepted into Flagler College to study business administration. The government responsible for the Jacksonville shooting this past weekend was not currently a student at Flagler College. A spokesperson from the school told the outlet. On Saturday, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garner announced that the Department of Justice is investigating this attack as a hate crime and act of racial motivation, violence, extremism. Well, it's about time, because that's what you should. I mean, dang, all the evidence is there. One of the Justice Department's first priorities upon its finding in 1870 was to bring justice. White supremacists who is using violence to terrorize Black Americans. There remains an urgent charge today, he said. President Joe Biden also condoned the shooting, stating, "White supremacy has no place in America." America was founded on white supremacy and hates our Black people, so I cannot have a place in America. We must refuse to live in a country where Black families going to the store or Black students going to school living in fear of being gunned down because of their color of their skin. Hate must have no safe harbor. Silence is complicit, and we must not remain silent. Well, that's in the article, and I'm gonna say that's a lie, because I know a lot of time I went to school, the same thing happened to me, and all the white kids stay silent, even they knew what other teachers and other students were doing was wrong. They don't speak up. They wasn't saying nothing. And I'm telling you this, nobody gonna say anything, because first thing y'all gonna do is say, "Oh, but Black people playing the race cards." If this fool left a full manifesto, if the EDW security did not report him, as his dad didn't wait an hour to call in and didn't have all this evidence, they would have said Black people playing race card. Oh, y'all just woke. Why don't you try to, see, the problem is that they can't cover us up, so now they can't cover up. Everything's all out there in the open. Everybody's reporting on it now. Everybody, all people in New Black media, including me, reporting on it. You got families of the victims out there using social media like they should. Everybody should use social media. All Black people should do their own news report on this story, especially if you live in Jacksonville City. We should be covering it ourselves. They ain't gonna do anything about it. Neither the president. All you're doing is reading from a damn teleprompter. They don't really care. Like I said, my condolences to the family victims. So you want to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share the video. And that's all I gotta say.